5, 8, 10 projects are required to use scenario planning to illustrate possible future outcomes. I have decided to look at energy use and carbon emissions associated with transport in Western Australia. Firstly, I looked at the factors that would influence how the future may pan out. The main areas I considered were political, economic, and social. I have defined political influences to be how our governments, both locally and on a federal level, may seek to influence emissions and fossil fuel consumption. The main ways that they would do this is through taxes to discourage unwanted behaviour or subsidies to encourage desired behaviour. International regulation is another area that I considered political in nature. Foreign ownership may impose regulations on emissions behaviour and/or reporting of Australian companies. Also, foreign suppliers and customers of Australian-owned companies may require compliance with international regulations in regards to reporting or other impositions. The level of economic activity will always have an impact, as a general decline in activity is associated with a reduction in energy requirement and emissions levels. This was seen as a result of the 2007 global financial crisis. In this category, I also considered technology and issues such as peak oil. With regard to social change, I considered what influence consumer choice and attitude may have on the future. Some areas that I thought may affect transport in particular were attitudes towards car ownership, both size and efficiency, attitudes towards alternatives to motor vehicle transport, such as the use of public transport or cycling, and attitude towards housing density and location. So I had to make some assumptions around what I would look at in my scenarios to simplify my analysis. I made assumptions about economic outlook, population growth, and housing outlook. I then looked at possible futures depending upon political and/or social change. My scenario analysis began by looking at the following possible futures. Business as usual, in which there is no political change and no change in consumer attitude towards climate change and emissions. Next, I looked at a possible future where we have political change with an increased emphasis on emissions reductions. There would be an efficient and effective price on carbon. Taxes and subsidies would be used to discourage inefficient transport practices and reward innovation and efficiency. There would be an increase in investment in clean and efficient public transport options and bike path infrastructure. Next, I looked at a future where there is growing consumer awareness of issues surrounding climate change and sustainability and a propensity to act. This would involve people choosing green alternatives, even if they were slower or more expensive. There would be a reduced reliance on private motor vehicle transport. There would be a change in attitude towards housing size and density. People would value being about to live, work and shop locally, and local products would also be sought after. Finally, if we were to have change in both areas of political and consumer attitude and actions, The result would be that Western Australia becomes a low carbon emissions region due to both government and consumer choices. There would be less cars on the road, cars would be smaller and greener, and the increasing urban sprawl would be arrested.